There's a special reason for playing this. Last night, my friend Joe called me about 1 o'clock, and it's the music I think he loves most, Schubert's Lieder. He doesn't understand them. He simply likes them. He loves them, listens to them. And it is just the beauty of them. The beauty of something that he cannot understand. I don't know if anybody can understand, even if we understand the text. Even if we know a certain context. I recently managed finally to go for the Nodel exhibition here in the Hamburger Bahnhof. And on the way out, I had been helped by somebody moving into the escalator, and she brought me to the exit. We talked a little bit, and I asked her, what do you think about the exhibition? And she said, well, Nolde, as much as it is a contested character, there are all these political issues and really kind of nasty things. But there's one thing that is the unbelievable beauty. We cannot understand it. It's simply there. It's independent of content, of substance. I couldn't else than agree. And even after she gave me her business card, I still said yes. It is exactly this. Something we cannot understand, we cannot grasp. We know it is there. And it is, in a way, without substance. At least not the substance we are used to discuss, we are used to explore. There's a beautiful poem coming to my mind from Erich Fried. I forgot the title. Is it about love? Even if this is the title, it is not about love. It is about the tension between a rational approach, thinking through something and saying it doesn't make any sense. It is a wrong thing to do. And at the same time, this emotion of being attracted, feeling comfortable, even knowing that one acts against better knowledge. I think so far I moved in now. All my belongings, which had been little with me, my little arts gallery, notebooks, which I donated, hoping that this donation comes at some stage to where it should come, to the public. And, well, not much that I can call my own. And there are two items somewhat remarkable. It's a grandfather clock standing there. It can be repaired, but it needs repair. It will not work without a serious intervention. And there is another clock that had been simply destroyed by being packed in the wrong way. Why do I talk about this in connection with these diaries and in connection with the issue you raised, saying what you need friends? Who could contest, who could question this need? Who would say, no, I don't need friends, I'm happy without anybody, I'm happy just on my own? Isn't it that actually Marx said something that humans are a social being, the Zoon Politikon, referring back to Aristotle, and they are a social being to such an extent that they can even socialize only through society. So yes, of course, there's the need of friends. But does this really answer any question? Or is there a question to which there's easily the answer? As you know, I hesitated. It took me a long time to sit down and reply, to come up with an answer. Because on the one hand, it is very simple. Yes, of course, we need. And at the same time, you need means implies in a way you don't have them, so you need them. There is something missing. And to be honest, just the last days and weeks, in a very moving way, showed me how many friends I have. Friends of a very different kind, where I hesitate to say, yes, friends. There are so many different kinds of friends. And then thinking about what you said, I thought as well, yes, the need of friends, but there is an unfriendly, even hostile environment. Is it then that we need friends even more, or is it that friends won't help, that we are always thrown back on our own and have to solve our problems, our own problems? And of course, I'm in a similar situation now as it had been expressed in this poem by Erich Fried, the tension of finding rational explanations, and at the same time, it is simply there. It is the emotional basis, felt, not known about, a long time not even present, and then out of a sudden, it appears or reappears in a way as if it never had been away. So far on friends, but that's the one thing. What are friends? People we can talk to, we trust, we feel comfortable in their presence. We can talk about everything. We just can have fun. We feel comfortable in terms of the bodies coming near to each other. And of course, it means so many different things in so many different cultures. Saying, I have my belongings here, no, it's the belongings from different lives, if you want, and all different lives being my own life. Coming again and again to points where I have to decide where I am standing, where I will go to where I will go from here. It is, of course, a conscious decision. You know what I'm talking about. The great next move, if you want, currently being negotiated. But it is as well the small things, not even decisions, kind of decisions. Decisions we don't take as such, but decisions we just do by doing.
Nun ist die Welt so trübe, der Weg fällt in Schnee. Nun ist die Welt so trübe, der Weg fällt in Schnee.
It's decisions we take and at the same time we don't take. It's the decision, the large decisions, of course, we take moving to other places, taking up new jobs, thinking if we accept them or don't accept them. Sometimes are as well more or less small decisions concerning our lifestyle, concerning physical activities, exercises, special diets we may consider for a while, or changing the interest in terms of books we read, or in terms of taking up painting, taking up poetry. And these are, in many cases, decisions we don't really take. They are taken by us, but at the same time they are not decisions. I was thinking the other day, or the other days, about it a couple of times when scootering back from town here to my place, thinking about Berlin. I know many places, I know many cities, I know the countryside, and in the countryside it's something different, but I never came across a city like Berlin where I have had this idea of it would be nice to be a poet. It would be nice to express this feeling of Berlin. This dresses you so well. The summer, it makes you looking bright, but it gives this feeling of lightness, bright and light. The light as well for the spirit that is getting open like a blossom. And when it does so, we have the impression it will never, ever close again. Decisions we finally don't take. I'm not a poet, not yet, and I guess I will never be. But be it as it is, this kind of friendship, as well as a matter of feeling content in the environment, and this is why I mentioned as well, it is, when we talk about friends and friendship, it is as well about the environment. The environment that is suitable, that is comforting and accommodating. And this may be one of the most serious problems we have in our life today, as a personal issue, but as well going far beyond. If we look at places like the one I'm living in now, it is so much about a place that carries on this tension. On the one hand, being multicultural, surprising me occasionally when I walk through the streets here in Greece or Americana and hear people speaking German. Actually, the majority speaks German and permanently speaks German, but the entire flair is a different one. It's not the typical German city. It's a place I really like. And still, there is something that surprises me or that makes me wondering how much is it part of a segregation. Because this is another part of Berlin, my experience here. I never ever came across a city that is segregated to such an extent as Berlin is. And this is, in a way, welding together, making friendships, because you are in your own community amongst yourself. Yes, I have many friends, and I guess the dearest are those with whom I understand on the basis of difference, on the basis of not understanding, of not knowing what is next, but only knowing there is something you can trust. It will go on, not in terms of the old ding-dong, but in terms of taking up challenges. Taking up everyday's challenges, having to do the exams, having to do the work, having to do this and that, having to prepare lessons, but as well taking up the other challenges. Challenges that are going beyond, where we really have to decide and where we stand at this famous junction and there is no way straight on. There's only the one way or the other way. And we have to decide. There's no standstill. So which way will we take? This is about friends, I guess. Not those who tell you which way to go, not possibly even tell you which way they would go or they will go, but encouraging you to go whichever way you decide is the correct one. Letting go. It is a completely different letting go than another kind of friendship you may have in mind as well. This easygoing gathering, socializing, being together with others, which is nice and definitely needed as well from time to time. And as you said, I'm very serious and always nearly always concerned, looking concerned. Yes, it is something where I guess you are right that I'm hesitating when it comes to this point of just spending time together with others in order to conclude at the end or the next day. Actually, there hadn't been much we had been talking about. There hadn't been anything relevant in terms of understanding, in terms of demanding, asking questions for the next steps. Just a second. I'll get some poem for you, not the one from Erich Fried, where it is the rational and the emotional, but another one. I'm actually not sure if it is a poem, it is a text. Now a little bit difficult, I have to translate. Elias Canetti. Du bist aus dem Atem der Welt gerückt. Just one page out of this little book. I bought actually in Munich when I lived there. In einem üppigen Kerker, wo kein Wind weht, geschweige denn ein Atem. O weg, weg von allem, das vertraut und persönlich und sicher ist. Gib die Vertrautheiten alle auf, sei kühn, wie lange schon, schlafen, deine 100 Ohren. I tried to translate a little bit in a splendid prison where there is no wind, let alone some breath. Oh, away, away from all of this, from all that is known and personal and secure. Give up what we know, what you know, what you trust in. Be brave. How long are your 100 years asleep? Isn't that about friendship? This encouragement, not just of the lightness, the unbearable lightness of being, but coming to something that is a bearable weight, that we are encouraged not by the stranger, not by the passerby, but encouraged to use by those whom we trust and who trust us, and who know or accept whatever we will do is the right thing. In this way, friendship it is possibly or probably as well this one thing of not knowing where it goes, but accepting that it is our decision, that the decision we have to decide, even in a hostile world, and even in this hostile world where it is our decision that is correct because of this one reason. It is we who decide. We, knowing that we have friends. Not sure if this is getting clear, even if it is in part an answer to the question that is in the room. It is just a kind of accepting the beauty of thinking.
Ich kann zu meiner Reise nicht wählen mit der Zeit, muss selbst den Weg mir weisen in dieser Dunkelheit. Es zieht ein Mondenschatten als mein Gefährte mit. Es zieht ein Mondenschatten.
Accepting the beauty of thinking as well in terms of accepting the beauty of difference, even if it seems to be unsurmountable, and even if it may be sometimes unsurmountable, and still where we can manage and where we do manage.
Und auf den weißen Matten such ich des Wildes Trieb.